All right, let's keep talking about goal setting. I've got a little bit more of this in my blog at ericbeard.com, but the last video that I did talked about chunking down big goals into manageable sized, actionable steps. This video that I'm going to put together for you right now is going to talk about reviewing those goals on a regular basis and dreaming big. It's one thing just to have a kind of fleeting thought that's a dream, but it becomes a goal when you put it down on paper and then create a plan and commit to achieving that goal. And it's so easy for us to lose sight of our goals, and with all the negativity that swirls around out there. It takes actually 16 positive messages to undo one negative message. With the negative messages that are put upon us all the time, we have to put so much more good stuff back into our brain. That's why we should be reviewing our goals morning, noon, and night. Yes, 2 or 3 times a day. We should be looking down at what we're doing. We should be practicing and repracticing and recommitting to our goals, rewriting them out, looking at pictures, watching videos, doing scrapbooks on it, putting little memory boards or goal boards up there. There are so many great ways to do it, and I'll talk more about that in another time, but I want to touch on the importance of continuing to revisit the goals that you've assigned, because they might change, they might shift. And one way that you can do that is I talked about drawing pictures or using your left hand or using bright colors, but you should just take a time, say 5 minutes for each one of your goals. So the goals that I had talked about was things that you want to have, things that you want to be, or things that you want to do. But just give yourself 5 minutes of uninterrupted writing. Put on some acoustical music in the background, whatever you might find motivating or freeing, or it can just be completely quiet, whether it's Beethoven or something that's going to inspire you or move you, or whatever it may be, but something without words that allows your spirit to come out, the inspiration, the spirit inside of you that comes out, and just take 5 minutes and write on one of those topics. Just go and write and write and write and fill up an entire page. Go to 2 pages, go to 3 pages, but don't stop before you complete 5 full minutes of writing for each of those. Get it out of you. And if you just can't think of anything and nothing's coming out, just keep writing, write words and words and words, but get it out of you. Because it's so hard for us to remember what our dreams are when we're children. They're just beaten out of us. It's so challenging. We're just conditioned at a young age that we cannot achieve and do the things that we really can do. You think about the story that talked about I believe it was in the 40s, where these 6 giant elephants perished in a circus fire, and everyone was so curious about why the elephants didn't just break away from their ropes and run out of the tent and run to freedom as this massive fire tore through the circus. They were only held down by this rope on this little wooden stump on the ground. They could have very easily used their massive, powerful muscles and potential to pull away from that. But when elephants are indoctrinated into the circus, they're basically chained or tied down into this very sturdy stake into the ground, and they're given a 6-foot radius to move around it. And no matter how hard they try or how hard they pull, they can't get away. They're conditioned that these chains and these ropes cannot be broken. And then as adults, when they have the physical strength to be able to do so, mentally they've given up hope. They cannot break that. So they perish in the fire because they thought they couldn't get away. How many people does that happen to every day when they just don't do the things that they really have the potential to do because they believe that they can't? It's pretty powerful. I remember one time when I was sitting around, I was under 10 years old, and we were at a family event in Jamaica Plain, just outside of Boston. And we were hanging out. There's extended family, and we were talking about things that we wanted, or dreams, or cars. And someone said, "Well, what do you want? What kind of car do you want when you grow up?" I said, "A Porsche 911." Without hesitation, boom, came right off my tongue. And most of the people laughed and said, "There's no way that you'll have that. Where are you going to get that kind of money?" My family came from modest means, overall, and just the thought was there's no way that someone in our family could have something like that. But there was one guy there who was thinking illogically, who was being unreasonable. I think he was a little drunk. He might have been on something else, but he wasn't thinking the same as the other people. He actually stood up to me and said, "You know what, Eric? You're right. You can do that. You can get that Porsche 911. In fact, that's something I would like to do too." He kind of instilled that in me. He supported me. It was an instance where everyone else around said it couldn't be done, but there's one person who wasn't thinking straight said that it could be done. And that's what we need. We need an unreasonable belief. Anything that's great and that's done in this world has not been achieved by someone who is reasonable. That is not common. We need people that are unreasonable, that are insane, people that have imagination, dedication, devotion, and belief in themselves. I was watching a video by Will Smith, and just the concept of electricity and lights. It was unreasonable a few hundred years ago to think of walking into a room, flipping a plastic switch, and for there to be illumination within the room. Harnessing electricity to provide lights, that was unthought of. It was unreasonable. But there are so many great things accomplished by people who are unreasonable, that believe in themselves, that use their imagination, believe in a goal. And we must continue to refresh that. We must look at our goals. We must redo our goals time and time and time again. Because we're going to feel the chains that we're conditioned to feel. We're going to feel the weight of the collar around our necks. It pulls us all down. There's that study by MIT that looked at all those negative messages out there and how much positivity and how many positive messages it takes to break a single negative piece of information. We've got to keep putting good stuff in. Put more in, put more in, put more in. And that helps by saying focused on your goals. Morning, noon, and night. And, there's the saying that exists. Basically, I believe this comes from Confucius. Whether a man who believes he can or can't, he is correct. We have to have the belief in ourselves, but reviewing your goals on a regular basis, not just once a month, not just once a year, but writing them and refining them and looking at them again and again and getting re-inspired, reignited to stay focused on those, because we can all get knocked off track. Don't let it happen to you. Stay focused on your goals, review your goals on a daily basis, and we can make a massive difference in this world. Thanks for watching.